Today I'll be covering the most essential hand embroidery stitches, so let's get started. The running stitch is a basic yet versatile stitch known for its simplicity and efficiency, and it's perfect for beginners. To do this stitch, you bring your needle up through the fabric at the beginning of your stitching line, then insert the needle back down into the fabric a short distance away, creating a straight stitch. Bring the needle up again through the fabric a short distance ahead of your previous stitch, and then insert it back down into the fabric. You continue this process, creating a series of evenly spaced stitches along your stitching line. This stitch is often used for outlining and gathering fabric, and can also be used to add subtle texture to your designs. The back stitch is an adaptable stitch that can be used to create both straight and curved lines in your design, or outline things like letters or shapes. The back stitch basically starts off like the running stitch, where you create your initial stitch whatever length you want. Bring the needle up through the fabric again that same stitch length away, and this time insert it back down into the fabric at the end of the previous stitch, creating a backward movement. Continue making stitches by using this sort of 2 steps forward, 1 step back pattern. This stitch is particularly useful for creating precise lines and curves with a smooth, solid appearance. The stem stitch is known for its flexibility and is ideal for creating smooth, curved lines and flowing organic shapes. To create a stem stitch, you make your first initial stitch, but you don't pull it down all the way, like you leave a little bit of excess, and then bring your needle back up through the center line of that stitch, and then you could pull your thread to tighten it down. And then your next stitch, you do the same thing, make another stitch the same length as your initial stitch, leave some excess, bring your needle back up through the middle of that one, and where you bring your needle up there, it should either be sharing or very, very close to the exit hole that you made with your previous stitch. This stem stitch is commonly used for outlining, creating stems and vines in floral designs, and adding texture and detail to embroidery projects. The cross stitch is a fundamental stitch that creates a neat grid-like pattern, making it ideal for intricate designs. So your first stitch of the cross stitch is going to be at a downward slanted angle, and your second stitch is going to start the same height as your first stitch and come across it to create a little X. In this case, I'm going to repeat the process, and my stitching goes from top left to bottom right, then up from top right to bottom left, and I'm going to share the holes on entry and exit as I go. The cross stitch is often used in traditional embroidery, as well as in contemporary needlework projects such as samplers, ornaments, and decorative pieces. The straight stitch is one of the simplest and most basic embroidery stitches and can be varied in length and spacing to achieve different effects. This is a very methodical approach to the long and short stitch. I've numbered the different lengths just to make it easier here. So basically I have my starting point and then I go down to number 1. Then I start back up at the top where my starting point was, right next to my initial hole, and then I go down to length 2. Go back up to the starting point for my next stitch. These are right next to each other, no spaces in between. And then I go back to 1. And then it just goes back and forth like a pattern, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way across. Now that I'm adding in a new color to blend, we are going to start a little bit lower at number 3 here and bring this up to meet the first stitch at 1 and have them share a hole. This next stitch is going to start at 4 and bring it up to number 2 and have these 2 stitches share a hole. And this is just going to continue in a pattern, 3 to 1, 4 to 2, 3 to 1, 4 to 2, all the way across. I decided to add a third color just so you could see the blending effect a little bit better. And this one is going to do the same exact thing. We're going to start at the bottom, number 5, and bring it up to 3 so that those 2 stitches are sharing a hole. 5 is going to go up to 4, then 5 will go up to 3, 5 to 4, 5 to 3. And like I said before, this is a very structured approach to this technique, which is used to create a blending effect, often seen in shading and filling designs. But to get more of a seamless blending effect, you could try splitting the stitches of the previous color by inserting the needle straight into the threads of the color you are blending with instead of having them share holes. The chain stitch is characterized by a series of loop stitches which form a chain-like pattern and can be used for outlining, filling, or creating decorative patterns on your embroidery pieces. The way this stitch is created is by passing the needle through the fabric and then pulling the thread back down through that same hole to form a loop. The needle is then inserted into the fabric again, catching the loop to create the next stitch. So you put your next stitch up through the loop that you've created and then pull to secure it. The split stitch is a classic embroidery technique, and it's commonly used for outlining and creating details. And it's also similar to the chain stitch, except it has a smoother appearance. It also produces a slightly raised line that's great for defining shapes and adding dimension to your work. To do the split stitch, bring the needle up through the fabric at a point halfway between the previous stitch, splitting the threads of that stitch as you go. Then insert your needle back down into the fabric at a point halfway between the current stitch and the next stitch in the line. The blanket stitch is a decorative embroidery stitch often used for creating embellished borders. The blanket stitch starts off like a cross stitch where you have this downward slanted stitch, but you don't pull your floss all the way through yet. Instead, you bring your needle back up through a hole that is basically at the 90-degree angle point of your 2 holes, and then you pull your thread to secure this perpendicular stitch. This stitch is commonly used for edging blankets, towels, and other fabric items, as well as for creating detailed borders on embroidery projects, and it adds a neat and decorative finish to the fabric edge while also providing reinforcement. Satin stitch is a smooth and glossy embroidery technique used to fill in solid areas of color or create bold outlines. To do this stitch, you bring the needle up through the fabric at the beginning of your stitching area. Then you insert the needle back down into the fabric at the opposite end of the area to be filled, creating the first stitch. Make sure the stitch length matches the width of the area you want to fill, and continue making parallel stitches side by side, covering the area. I see satin stitch being used often for filling shapes, lettering, and creating smooth, solid areas of color in embroidery designs. And it provides a polished and professional looking finish, making it a popular choice for adding richness and texture to projects. The French knot is a delicate decorative embroidery stitch used to create textured dots or small raised knots on fabric. So this is how I do French knots as a self-taught embroidery artist. Also, I'm a lefty, so hopefully this isn't too confusing for some of you. I've created 3 rows here so you could see how many times you wrap your needle can affect how big your knots get. The first row you're going to wrap once, the second row will be 2 wraps, and the third row will be 3 times. To create these knots, you bring the needle up through the fabric at the desired location for the French knot. Then hold the working thread with your non-dominant hand and wrap it around the needle, I'd say anywhere from 1 to 4 times. The classic French knot, I believe, is 2 times. It just depends on the size of the knot you want. While you're holding your thread and the wraps in place with your non-dominant hand, guide the needle back down into the fabric in either the same exact hole where it came out of or very, very close to it. From there, by pulling your thread back down through your fabric, it gathers the wraps together, creating a little French knot. So I'm going to give you a little walkthrough here because these can be tricky to get the hang of. See how I wrap it once, twice, and then I go right back through the same hole I came out of. And I'm holding the wraps in place by holding my thread taut while I pull the needle through with my other hand. I really love making these little French knots, and it's nice because they can be used individually as accents or clustered together to fill areas with texture, which helps add depth and dimension to your work. By mastering these basic stitches with lots of practice, you will really open up a world of possibilities for your hand embroidery projects. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more embroidery content.